Hey, what's going on, guys? Jason Cardamone here. We are at day 9. This is the 9th video. It's actually day 10 of this huge series I'm throwing at you. And what's super interesting, we're going to start off really fast paced here, kind of like my super bright shirt. It's going to just be an information drinking from a fire hose. And it's really, really important that you pay close attention to what's really happening here, because one of the biggest things we're going to talk about today, and I really want you, as you're listening to me very closely right now, maybe there's a noise in the background, maybe you can hear an air conditioner, maybe there's cars driving by, depending on where you're at as you're hearing my voice right now. What's super interesting is we're going to talk about balance in life, and it's the exact reason why you're getting my video right now, when this day 9 or the 9th video was supposed to come to you yesterday, which was actually day 9, and it's actually the first day I haven't shot a video in the whole 10 days so far. So here's exactly what we're gonna do, and really I'm gonna model all this as you're watching me and experiencing this whole, this whole process, locking arms with me as we're here on the journey together. And so I missed yesterday, when I realized what was happening, and we had what really happened, my wife's friend had it's like the daughter's birthday party or something. It was just an excuse for all the kids and the adults to get together, and super cool. They have chickens. I've never been around chickens my entire life. And it's like a normal neighborhood, like suburban neighborhood, but whatever their code is, whatever, they could have chickens and stuff. They had a pretty big yard. So we go over there, kids are playing with the chickens. I play volleyball for the first time in years. And in fact, I played real soccer with like 6 adults, 4 kids for the first time in at least 2, 3, 4, 5 years now. And my knees and everything held up really good, or at least I thought they did, until late last night, and coming home I realized how sore I am with everything. So here's why all that matters. I just dove in yesterday and I realized doing this video with you guys, and this is really one of the key components. It's like my foundations. It's kind of like working out. So this morning, same thing yesterday. I went on a little workout, and it was so hot by the time I got outside. I went out with my son and he was on his bike and I was running, and it was so hot that I was like, dude, and my knee was hurt, everything, like my body was basically telling me, dude, we're not running right now. And I've learned to listen, not just bust through that like I had most of my entire life. And so turned back around, we basically did nothing more than a warm up, and then it was time to go to the party. And I realized, like, man, I hadn't done the video. I'll do it when I get home, because we didn't think we were gonna stay more than like maybe 2-3 hours. So we ended up staying there about 7 hours or more, like all the way through late night. And we get home, it's past 10 p.m. and we're literally, our whole family's just wiped out. We just seized the whole day, like pure carpe diem. And it was awesome. And I don't regret 1 ounce of it. And there's always lessons coming out of that. And the big lesson, this one I want to share with you guys, I talked about balance. And here's something that so many people miss out on, including myself. I remember back when I was when I was still working in the corporate world and doing all this internet marketing and entrepreneur stuff, internet marketing on the side of that, first thing when I wake up late at night, I didn't have a balanced life, because I had like an hour commute each way, plus at least 8 hours at the job. There's 10 hours a day right there. Then, at the time, basically I had 2 children, very young, like 1 and 3-year-olds kind of ranges, around when I was like breaking into full time. And it was just so, it was super stressful and super draining, and it was not balanced. It wasn't healthy either. But what was driving me going forward was like the life like yesterday, where we're not freaked out about money, and I can afford to like literally spend real time where I'm present, just like I'm present with you right now. And we're sitting here locked together, and it's exactly like my children yesterday, my wife, her friends, and the other, like some of the people I hadn't met before. and the other children there. I played soccer with my youngest and another kid there for like, it was at least 60 to 90 minutes outside of like it was just me and these two kids, and all the adults are off partying, like all the kids are off, whatever they were all doing. And I was playing with these two 7-year-old kids for like way more than an hour. And there were moments within that, because I was like in the moment, deeply in the moment. And I wasn't thinking about the videos with you guys. I wasn't thinking about business. In fact, I wasn't even thinking about besides the occasional glance to go like, you know, check in, make sure my wife's doing good, my kids and everything else is cool at the party. I was like in that moment with those two kids playing soccer. And I wasn't doing it for anybody except for them and me. And I was like, I was teaching them things through fun. And I was like it's one of my gifts. I've coached hundreds and hundreds of kids, and it was just so fun. I had a blast, and I was in the moment. I was using my gifts, and they were having fun, and I was having fun. It was just like an amazing day. And it's days and moments like that are exactly why I put in the, you know, what has turned into at times 24 hours a day of work, or 24 hours a day of play and all that. And that's all about the balance of what I used to not be good at back when I was working so much. And then even when I first took the leap, well, I first took the leap too early, and it was like, I think it was late 2007 or middle late somewhere. 5, 6. Oh yeah, I know what happened. So it was April or May. It was actually the month before my daughter was born. So it was early 2007, and I'd made this place. I'd worked at a ton of money, and they were going through all these layoffs, and for whatever reason they laid me off. And it was crazy because I was one of the top salespeople in the entire nation out of everybody. It was like a brick and mortar school education company, and I was like blown away. And I had all these ideas like, oh, they did it because they didn't want to pay for my like cover insurance because my daughter was going to be born the next month and all this other stuff. And my heart wasn't fully there at that point. I'd been there a while. I'd made them way over $1 million, and they paid me 6% plus a small little draw every month. And it was good over the time I was there, and I learned a lot, and I'm super grateful for it. But I was so interested in growing my online business that I wasn't giving them 100%. I was giving them 75, 80%, and I hope this doesn't come across arrogant, but it's the truth. My 75 or 80% put me well into their top 15, 20, actually into their top 10% of nationwide producers. I was still in the very top. And it doesn't mean that I look down on it. It wasn't like that. That I just dove in. When I was giving them 100%, I was literally shattering like whatever decade-long or longer company records. I shattered everything that company had. And I made more sales more quickly than anybody. And here's the crazy thing. I was just going to go to school there as a student, and the campus director recruited me to be in their admissions department. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing sales ever again, because I had done cold calling in another company I started, 300 dials a day. And she talked me into it anyway, and it was a just awesome situation for her, for the company, for myself, for everything. So super grateful for it, but I had like grown past where I wasn't able to learn too much more besides the day-to-day sales stuff. That it's always a little unique, but it's always boils down to the same set of skills. And so no, I didn't give it 100%. So they let me go, and I don't know what all the reasons were, because they had layoffs, you know, across different areas. But I remember that happening, and that I was like, okay, I guess I should just go full time. And so I gave it a go for like, I think it was like 2 or 3 months in the end, and I just didn't have the foundation built in the online business. So here's where all that balance stuff matters, because I was hustling, working ridiculous hours, and that's all I did. And I literally, around those times, I was missing my small children growing up. And I can't change anything. If I do have any regrets in life, it would be around some of the times we missed. But I was going to say I've made up for those. You can't make up for missing not anything. I mean, if you have someone close to you and they just pass away suddenly, You can't go get time back. There's no like making it up because they're now gone. And that could happen to me, my kids, or anything. So I can't change any of that, but I can share that and I can learn from that, and so can you. And so why yesterday was so important and why it's totally cool that I didn't do a video yesterday, it's that I was living life to its fullest. Could I have had better routines and just forced the video early yesterday like I almost did, but then I hustled on some other like really critical project and got that done instead? I made my choices. You know, I can't change that. Did I learn like, hey man, I got to do the videos early or sometimes it won't get done? Well, we're already in the afternoon. It's like 3 p.m. and this is my first video today, which is for yesterday. My plan is to do another one tonight because I don't want to fall behind. And I made choices this morning. And actually, I'll say this. I haven't slept more than 8 hours a night for like decade, like long time. I don't know if I ever have actually. Maybe when I was like back in party days and I'd over partied or something. So I woke up this morning and I slept like 9, almost 10 hours. Like we just poured it on yesterday. It was so awesome. And I woke up, I thought it was like 6:10 or something, which is late for me to get up. It was actually 8, not 6 on the little alarm clock, a little extra line, the 8 instead of a 6. I was all, whoa, like I was blown away and I was instantly grateful too. I'm like, dude, awesome. It means my brain and my body wanted to sleep. Why all that matters is that you have to find a balance in what you're doing. You're gonna have moments where you have to sprint and you have to hit it hard. You're gonna have moments where you need to focus on your family, and that's the most important thing, and put all business, including your job, including your home business and everything, throw that stuff in the back burner. There's gonna be other times where you have to contribute and you have to ignore your family and your business. There's gonna be other times where you need to focus on your health. Like I did this morning when I went out running and I was like in the heat, super hard, super intense, like 5.5, 6 miles, whatever. My Garmin messed up. Well, I messed my Garmin up in the middle, so I lost part of my run. But I went out and nailed it this morning, and that was me. That was turning everything off. Except for, do I still have my little recorder? Where's my recorder? I bring this little USB recorder. I posted about it on Facebook like a week ago or something. Besides me capturing some ideas and things I want to share with you guys, that was like my time. I'm pouring in positive information in my brain. I'm learning from people that are smarter than myself that have done more stuff. And all that stuff put together, that's what we call balance. And balance it's why I'm always talking about the different areas with you guys. We have, health and nutrition. That's what I was doing this morning. Health and nutrition, it was me, even though we were late to go to a restaurant to meet family members for a 6-way birthday party. We have 3 kids. Brother has 3 kids. All birthdays within like 5 or 6 weeks, I think. Like mega birthday party. Even though I knew we were going to be late for that, I'm getting my vitamins, getting all my stuff, and doing what I needed to do. That's my health and nutrition being a priority in that moment. Then we're just at the restaurant. It was fully focused on relationships, on my brother and his wife and my parents and all 6 kids and my wife, and even on the waitress and even other people around me. That was relationships. That was my focus. That was everything I was doing there. I was fully engaged. And even more health and nutrition, eating my salad and all the stuff I had there. And then business, career, mission. That's like, sometimes I throw mission in the relationships part too. That's what this whole video is. I love this stuff. I love serving you guys. I love teaching you lessons, whether it's you get to learn from stuff I messed up on, whether it's me reminding you on stuff you already know or stuff maybe you'd forgot about, or things that you're like, dude, I know that, Jason. I'm the most balanced person in the world. And if that's what you're saying, you're probably not at all the most balanced person, because you probably are struggling in one of those 3 main areas, and whichever one you're struggling the most, you have to figure out you're not balanced. If you don't have just as much money as you have as much energy and health and nutrition, and you never get sick, and you don't have quality relationships with your spouse and children and coworkers and your community and everything else, That's not balance. And it's kind of like the wheel, you know, let's say you have a wheel of life. If one of those things isn't as good as the other, it's like dented in, your wheel, it goes like da-dunk, da-dunk, da-dunk. Your life, you can't go to a million miles an hour if you have wheels that are like that. So again, I'm not saying there's not moments where you have to focus in one of the areas more than the other. You always have to. You can't, your brain doesn't even work to do more than one thing at a time. Not even for females. Even though they're better at like task switching than guys are in general, that doesn't mean somebody can do more than one thing at once, because you can't. It's not possible. Your conscious mind can only be track of 5, 7 plus or minus a couple things ever, and it can't do them all at the same time. And that's what a lot of people screw up on. They don't focus on one thing. They're worried about their health and nutrition. At the same time, they're trying to grow their business. At the same time, they're trying to like grow their relationships. And so they're screwing all three up. Kind of like back when at the job, I was giving the job most of my heart, not all of it. And then on the side, giving my business even more of my heart. And then the whole time my family struggled, I wasn't even within just the category of business. That part wasn't even congruent, because the business was getting different amounts of my heart. And that impacts me, because I know I'm going in every day like not giving my whole heart, my whole 100%. And even though my 75, 80% put me in the top 10%, that's an excuse. And that's not me working my hardest and doing my very, very best. And just because, so if you're super gifted in some area and you're giving it 75 or even 50% and just like floating by, you're damaging your self-esteem, your self-confidence deep inside. So here's what's cool about all this. Now that we're looking at I go to the party yesterday, I'm late on the video, it's a little delayed. I don't freak out, I'm cool with that. I still didn't even get to do it this morning like I wanted to, because I put my health and nutrition first, and I felt like I needed to, because I was like, I don't drink alcohol or anything. I felt dehydrated, I felt run down. My body was physically worked out from yesterday. So I focused on health and nutrition the entire morning for like whole 3-4 hours today. That was health and nutrition and family. That's all I did. Actually, I did do a little business in there too. So that's why I did all three. But they were focused in the moment, I'm focused on those individual areas. So guys, you have to find, and girls, by the way, if you don't know this by now, when I say guys, that's like the world. And I actually, more often than not, I'm trying to talk to just you. You. I mean you. I don't mean that other person. I don't mean the other person maybe hearing my voice in the background. I'm talking to you right now. And as you're hearing my voice and you're listening to all these things, and they're starting to make a lot of sense, and the puzzle pieces are all coming together, and you're starting to see things that you could improve on, things you're already good at, and things as we lock arms as we're going forward, pulling out even more of our fullest potential, more of our gifts, and giving those out to the world and causing those ripple impacts to go out in every direction. That's what makes your world and the entire world of humanity a better place, is all of our ability to do that and to get better and to do it every day and to pour our hearts in and put in that focus and find the right balance. So that's a huge, huge key of all this, is to look at where our areas are at, find what needs some love, some work. Back when I went bankrupt, you know what needed a lot of love and a lot of work? It was my finance, my career area. That needed the most focus. Then, put so much focus there. Relationship needed more focus. Health and nutrition is all right. I was partying a little too much, but I was working out almost every day. It was like, it's okay. Relationships needed more though. So put focus there. Then I needed even within the business part. So as you do the same thing in all areas of your life, even within the 3 main areas that we always talk about, you get to learn and you get to improve and get better and mess around, try new things. Like, hey, I tried doing this. Yeah, that sucked. It's that course correction thing we've talked about before. So as we're going forward into this amazing future we're all co-creating together, we will continue to have even more and more balance. We will continue to learn lessons. And this just like downloaded into me from Jim Rohn up in heaven right now, just like his voice that I remember listening to so many on hundreds of hours of my life. One of the trickiest areas is to find the balance exactly like I'm talking about in this video. And I specifically remember, it was like 2006 or 7, and him talking about that, and I was like, yeah, I don't think, that's not really my biggest challenge. And in the last 3 or 4 years, more often than not, that has absolutely been the biggest challenge, is to go on the sprint, the income sprint, and then go on the family relations sprint, and then do the health nutrition sprint, and find those balances, because you can go on more than one sprint every day or every week or every month or however that looks in your life. So my friend, I really appreciate you with all my heart. I appreciate you plugging into this whole series. Really looking forward to this entire journey as we move forward, locking arms together. And thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. And I believe in you. We'll see you tomorrow.